Hey y'all, Zelda here. I am just hopping on with an inspiration from a walk that I went on this morning. Um, Last episode, I mentioned that a lot of inspiration and downloads come to me in the bath, and the other place that they come to me, besides in like my meditation and writing practices and art making, is when I go on walks. And this morning, I was walking, and right in front of me, one of those little helicopter seeds. In my mind, I call them kind of whirligigs, but I have no idea if that they're actually called that. Um, but those little spirally helicopter seeds fell down, and it fell really slow. Like it kind of fell near my face and then went away. And it felt like I watched it falling for a little while. And I heard um, trust in divine timing. And something happened and clicked, like this association happened. A lot of times I feel like realization happens for me this way, where it happens like I have these points of realization and suddenly something clicks, and like the constellation of all those different points of realization kind of zooms out and comes together. And I think a lot of people have this when they're doing ongoing learning and study and self-inquiry processes. So one of the things that I saw is that all of these kind of images of these way of moving like as a spiral came to mind. I saw someone skiing down a hill and going back and forth to get to the bottom of a steep hill. And when I was first like starting to explore psychology beyond what I did on my own. So I was starting to study it in school. At that point, I was going to a school where not only was like Kundalini awakening as like a psychological experience really held as valid, like the school that I went to is quite alternative in that way, psychology relating. And my mom converted to Sikhism and took me to Kundalini yoga a lot as a child. And Kundalini rising and then having these like spiritual emergencies kind of was like this really curious experience in my mind. And what kind of clicked is that if that, one of the reasons that spiraling kind of decreases that speed, moves that into a place where it might not have just immediately fallen, but it also softens or makes it possible to travel a distance without having yourself get injured. Like you can just go straight down a hill, but the reason that people don't, part of it is that it's not safe to just go straight down a hill with no turns. It's not, it takes a really quick amount of time. Sure, maybe it's like time effective in the short term, but maybe you're injured, maybe you can't do as many different things. And because of that, I just was noting that like these spiritual emergencies, like these rapid Kundalini awakening moments, or Kundalini rising moments, can be powerfully activating and very exciting, but they can also be damaging. It's kind of like one of the visions that I had a long time ago was of people having these armors and these kind of contraptions removed from their mouth of God. So like right behind the, like at the cervical spine almost, like at the very top of the shoulders, right here. And I saw these things, kind of these rods getting pulled out. And for a lot of people, their system was collapsing. Like this structure was being removed really rapidly, not like slowly, a little at a time, but rapidly. And because the infrastructure wasn't there, there was a huge collapse. And so, yes, I think that one of the dimensions of talking about divine timing is like trusting that what is meant for you will find you, that things happen in the time that they need, but also is identifying that sometimes when we're like, why hasn't this happened yet? Why hasn't this happened yet? Sometimes it's because there's a very good reason that like that could be harmful to receive, that you're not ready for that at that time, that there's something to learn from going the long way around. And I was just thinking of all the ways that this shows up in nature, this kind of, not just this spiral, but also this kind of like circuitous experience, or like going a way that might not be as like speedy, but is actually much more enduring and is like a system that has a lot of intention to it. It makes me think about how intentional like rest and space is an important and necessary like counterpoint, and balancing. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Just a really brief flip into an inspiration that a little falling helicopter seed offered from Spirit and my Spirit team to you. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day.